Live from 12 News, your local election headquarters, this is the Providence Mayor Democratic Primary Debate.
Live from our 12 News studios, a debate among the candidate for mayors of Providence. Hello everyone, I'm Tim White. Welcome to this hour-long commercial-free debate. We will be going in depth on the big issues facing Providence. Each candidate will have an opportunity to give a 1-minute closing statement at the end of this debate. And the candidates are, from left to right on your screen, Gonzalo Cuervo. Mr. Cuervo is a former top staffer to previous mayors David Cicilline and Angel Taveras. He was most recently Deputy Secretary of State under Nelly Gorbea. Next, Nirva LaFortune. Miss LaFortune has been a city council member representing Ward 3 on the east side of Providence for the past 5 years. She currently works at Brown University. And Brett Smiley. This is Mr. Smiley's second run for mayor. He previously worked for Mayor Jorge Elorza before taking high-level state positions for Governor Gina Raimondo. I will be moderating this debate along with my colleagues, 12 News politics editor Ted Nacey and Target 12 Providence reporter Steph Machado. Now, candidates, as each of you know, there is no strict format to this debate. We're looking for an open and honest discussion of the issues. We will allow you guys to have some back and forth, and we encourage that. If you are taking too long or not answering the questions, we will jump in. Let's begin. Throughout the campaign, we've heard a lot of platitudes from all three of you about the beleaguered Providence public schools. Everyone knows they are in rough shape. Parents don't need you to tell them that the schools have failed generations of kids. So Ms. LaFortune, if you become mayor, what is one concrete thing, just one, that would take a meaningful step toward improving the city schools?
Right. The first thing that I would do as a parent first is, and as a mayor, is to create a pathway, a plan, bring the stakeholders together, including the state as well as our city officials, parents, as well as community members, to set a plan so that we can responsibly transition the schools back to local control. This takeover, what was promised was that it would be a partnership, but unfortunately what we would have seen is controversy after controversy. So it's important for us to get it back to local control, but to do it responsibly and to set the conditions, set the foundation for the conditions so that we can deliver each child in every neighborhood a quality education.
You know, Ms. LaFortune, I think parents at home are listening to you and they're going to be like, you know what, this issue has been studied a lot. Yeah. And you saying bringing the stakeholders back together again is just yet another study. We know that eventually, be it a year, be it 2 years, that the schools are going to go back to city control. So when that happens, what is one thing that you would do to take that meaningful step?
This is not a study. We have the goals that are outlined in the turnaround plan, but we have to transition the schools back responsibly by setting benchmarks so that we can actually meet those goals to ensure that we're delivering our kids a quality education. One thing that has happened repeatedly is that every time there's a new leader, there's a new plan that's in place. I don't want to churn around the goals that we need to meet. Those goals include academic excellence, diversifying the teaching workforce, amongst other things. So it's about bringing the stakeholders together, but to set up a plan so that we can have a pathway in transitioning our schools back to local control.
Mr. Smiley, do you have a concrete example for the parents at home listening to this about how you would improve schools?
Sure. So we do need to make sure that the state delivers on its promises. The state is 3 years into this takeover. The takeover is off track, and the next mayor needs to work with the next governor to get it back on track, and I'm prepared to do that. In the meantime, there's a lot that the city still is in control of, and so one concrete step that I intend to take for families in Providence is to put Providence on a pathway for universal pre-K citywide. Early childhood education is critical. It improves student outcomes for a student's entire education. When I served as Governor Raimondo's chief of staff, we put the state on a path to early childhood universal pre-K. The city needs to come up with its share. I think that this has been a great divide between wealthy families and everyone else, where rich families could afford pre-K and everyone else struggled to find a seat in a subsidized child pre-K facility. We also know that it'll help families pay for the cost of childcare, which is one of the most serious economic burdens facing families in Providence.
And when would you make that happen? When would universal pre-K become a reality for the families of Providence?
By the end of my first term, there will be a seat available for every child in Providence who wants one. And in my first budget, we'll have a down payment on that promise.
Mr. Cuervo, what's a concrete step you would take for the Providence schools?
I agree that the takeover has been has fallen short of its objectives. And we need to get the schools back and put our schools on a path towards consistency and accountability across the board. But the first concrete path the first concrete step that I would take as mayor, which is something that's entirely under control of the mayor, is ensuring that the hundreds of millions of dollars that we've borrowed through bonds at the city and state level to improve our schools is being utilized effectively and efficiently to rebuild our crumbling school infrastructure in a way that not only restores the buildings, but prepares them for a 21st century learning environment. What we've seen time and time again is ancient buildings that are a century old, that are restored to near new condition. They get some technology dropped in, but it's still a building that's 80 or 100 years old. There are new realities that our students are facing, new opportunities, new learning methodologies that are being implemented in new buildings that are being built across the state. We've seen this at East Providence High School. We have an opportunity to make sure that these dollars that are readily available right now will be used in an intelligent, thoughtful way that best serves our students immediately.
In the first term of the Cuervo administration, how many schools would that be rising from the ashes in the city of Providence?
As many as we have the ability and the funds to complete.
Go ahead, Ms. LaFortune.
I was going to say, well, this is why we need to have a plan, because many elected officials have promised families that they're going to fix things. I worked on passing the first bond to fix our schools. We don't have the infrastructure, or the conditions of our building is not up to par to bring younger kids into these buildings for universal pre-K. So we have to have a plan in place to ensure that we're using the funds responsibly, but also there are goals that are outlined in the turnaround plan. We cannot forget about those goals, and they encompass all of these things that you're saying. But it's about setting that plan and working collaboratively so that we actually stay on course. We have deviated from the course on multiple occasions. It's time we stay on course so that we can ensure we're delivering our children a quality education. I have lived through it. I'm a parent. My child is starting 7th grade in Providence Public Schools. And you know what? Most parents are tired of the promises. What we need to do is bring the stakeholders to the table, work collaboratively with the state, transition our schools back to local control, invest in our buildings, but in order to do that, we have to do it responsibly and
Ms.
strategically.
LaFortune, respectfully, there might be some parents at home that look at you and say, you've been in city council for 5 years and could have made a plan throughout that time and deliver on the things that you just talked about. Right. How would you respond? So
I actually participated in all the many of the conversations with the state when the turnaround took place. When the takeover took place, and provided input. That turnaround plan encompasses input from parents like myself, city council members, and so the whole goal was to start working on them. But then when the state took over, we continued to advocate. I continued to show up. I actually passed legislation to increase social emotional support in our schools and services, which is something that students have been calling on. And last year, the state, RIDE, received money from the federal government to implement those services. I've been talking about working on our school buildings. I made sure that I was knocking on doors, even with a broken ankle, so that our state could pass the bond so we could utilize those funds. I've been holding the district accountable by asking for information and the state to outline where they're at with the school projects, construction projects. So that's something that's on record, I've been doing, and I've been holding our leaders accountable. But in order for us to have control over our schools, we needed to transition back to local control. What was promised to us was a partnership, and you know, Brett Smiley is an architect of this plan, but unfortunately, the state has not delivered, and they're making decisions without including the most important people, which are the parents and the stakeholders.
Okay, before we go to Steph, Mr. Smiley, you can weigh in since she brought you up in that answer, and I'll give you the final word, Mr. Cuervo.
Yeah, after 30 years of dismal results, it was decided that something needed to change. We needed to try something different. Whatever we were trying wasn't working. And so Governor Raimondo, when she was governor and I was her chief of staff, along with a team of excellent qualified professionals, decided to take a bold step to take over the Providence Public Schools. Unfortunately, in the 3 years since then, we faced a global pandemic. Governor Raimondo left for Washington. We lost yet another superintendent, and the takeover hasn't yet produced results. We all agree on that. What I think matters is, where do we go from here? Where we go from here is not another plan. It's not another convening. It's not another stakeholder summit. It's not any more consultants. It's actually finish the plan that was started, and I think fell off track for some understandable reasons. And then we also all agree that we want the schools back into local control. And so this isn't about finger pointing, it's about delivering results to the families and children of Providence who have had to wait too long. We have the takeover plan. We have the turnaround plan. It's off track. It's time to get back on track. I'm looking forward to working with the next governor to get back on track so that we can actually start moving the needle for families and children.
Mr. Cuervo, final word, is he right?
This is about leadership. It's about creating a path that has consistency and accountability, two things that have been lacking in any conversation around our Providence schools for a generation. The reality is that things have come to a head for a number of different reasons, and the pandemic was the icing on the cake that really pulled back all the inequities, pulled back the curtain on all the inequities, and really forced us to take a really hard look at this situation. But we have the opportunity to move forward with a plan that provides consistency and accountability across the board to improve our schools in ways that we haven't been able to do before.
Target 12 investigator Steph Machado with our next question.
You all know that the price of rent is soaring in Providence. All three of you have said you want to build more affordable housing to address the current rental crisis in the city, but it could take years to build enough housing units to really have an effect on rent prices, and families are frankly being priced out of their neighborhoods now. Mr. Smiley, you've already said you oppose capping how much landlords can raise the rent each year. What is your alternate plan to keep rents down in the short term?
Yeah. So we need to address this problem from both sides. On the one side, we do need to build more. We need to aggressively build more affordable housing in Providence. The state has recently allocated significant additional funds for the construction of affordable housing. I want to see as much of that built in Providence as possible. We've got a serious glut of vacant, abandoned, blighted buildings in Providence. I'd like to see those turned around into affordable rental units and home ownership opportunities, and plan to do so aggressively. At the same time, we need to help families who are struggling by making sure that people who have Section 8 vouchers can find apartments that will take them, by making sure that our existing affordable housing stock is full with families who need those homes, and by creating a new tier of benefits. I hear from more and more families who tell me that they make too much money to qualify for the affordable housing units, but not enough money to actually pay the rent. We need a second tier of housing subsidy available for people who it's a lesser subsidy because they're making money, they're working hard, but it's not enough to keep up with the rising costs of rent.
And who's paying for that new housing subsidy?
The state.
Mr. Cuervo, your proposal is a 4% cap on rent increases, excluding new construction. Mr. Smiley says that'll lead to poorly maintained buildings and will hurt landlords. Why do you think he's wrong?
I think that we already have a glut of poorly maintained buildings in the city of Providence. And what we also have seen is the cost of housing, particularly rental units, has skyrocketed to a point that exceeds any logical explanation. You can't blame tax increases for it. You can't blame the economy. There are neighborhoods in the south side of Providence where a $900 two-bedroom apartment 2 years ago was renting for $1,600, $1,700, double what it cost 2 years ago. There are people who are literally being priced out of their neighborhoods in the city of Providence. That is unacceptable. My proposal, which is not only rent stabilization, but also creating a municipal developer model that's being used elsewhere in the United States, is very successful by reorienting and aligning the city's existing resources like the Providence Redevelopment Agency, the Providence Housing Authority, CDBG funding that comes from the federal government. This is how we build more housing, by realigning our strengths, by realigning our resources, by modifying our zoning laws to facilitate the development of more housing, and also for renters by creating a system where there's predictability both for renters and for homeowners. This process is something that will take a conversation. This is not something the mayor can do unilaterally. The council's going to weigh in, the community's going to weigh in, and I know that there are homeowners and renters alike that are incredibly concerned about the unbelievably fast rising cost of rent in the city of Providence. Unsustainable rises. Something needs to be done. I have a plan for that.
Do you think that your rent control proposal could have any unintended consequences? For example, a landlord who wasn't planning to raise the rent might feel they need to do so at 4% each year because they know they'll never be able to raise it any higher than that?
Well, the reality is that some landlords have been raising it at 10 and 20% each year now. So we need to begin this conversation. We need to develop a plan that works. There are organizations that have been working on rent stabilization processes. There are models to follow in other parts of the country that have worked. It is not true that rent stabilization leads to abandonment of properties what it leads to is consistency and predictability, so that not just working families, but young professionals and artists, the kind of people that have made Providence the remarkable, great place that it is, can continue to live in Providence and don't end up having to move to Fall River and Woonsocket in Central Falls.
Okay, Ms. LaFortune, you've said you support some sort of cap on rent increases, but you haven't provided a specific number. What is your proposal exactly?
So we do have to get a grasp on the rising rents. In fact, there's a young woman that I met who is a professional young woman who has a graduate degree, single, doesn't have any children, and her rent went up by over $600. And she's saying that she can no longer live in the city of Providence, and in fact might have to leave, and she's someone who's contributed to our local economy. And so it's important that we take a multifaceted approach in addressing our cost of housing in the city of Providence. I actually introduced an ordinance, a tax stabilization agreement ordinance, or a TSA, for a residential TSA, which we would incentivize the development of affordable housing based on the average median income. We also have to look at some of the zoning policies that currently exist that prevent us from building more housing in the city of Providence.
But respectfully, Ms. LaFortune, the question is, what is your proposal? You say you support a cap, some sort of cap on rent increases, rent stabilization, as it's called, or rent control, but what is your proposal? What's the highest number you'd be willing to go to?
Well, I'm not going to come up with an arbitrary number, because there are people who are impacted. There are many people who are landlords throughout the city of Providence who are not wealthy, who are in the service industry, in the healthcare industry, and we've seen a rise in utilities. We have one of the highest commercial tax rates. So in order to come up with a plan that actually makes sense, that helps people who are renting and who can no longer afford to live in the city of Providence, but also the landlords who need the rent to pay their mortgage, we need to bring folks to the table to come up with a number that makes sense, run the model so that it makes sense for the city of Providence. But it has to be a multifaceted approach.
And those landlords might be watching tonight, and so are the renters who want to know the answer to this question. You are a sitting city council person. Why don't you have a plan before they go to the polls?
It's not about having a plan, not having a plan before they go to the polls. So I have proposed to build more housing. We also have federal dollars that came through to the city of Providence and also the state through the American Rescue Plan Act. I want to work with the state, and I've talked about this in the past, to build more housing, look at some of our old mills, and also we have some empty buildings downtown where we can refurbish and think about how to change those into housing opportunities for our residents and people who wish to live in the city of Providence. But it has to be a multifaceted approach where we're getting a grasp on the rise of rent, but we're also building more housing opportunities. It's economics. The housing stock has been low for quite some time. If we do not build more housing, if we do not look at the zoning policies that have served as barriers in preventing us from building more housing, there's always going to be a housing crisis in the city of Providence. So we need to take a multifaceted approach, and one that's sustainable for our city residents.
Candidates, Providence faces no bigger financial threat over the next 20 years than the city pension fund. All of you are familiar with this topic. The shortfall in the fund is now $1.25 billion, and this year alone, Providence taxpayers have to put $100 million of their tax money into the fund. Recently, city leaders have rallied around this idea of shoring up the pension fund by borrowing hundreds of millions of dollars through a bond. But as we see interest rates rise, that's uncertain, possibly even unlikely. So, Mr. Cuervo, I'm going to start with you on this question. If the bond isn't an option, since it is no guarantee, do you have a plan B to lower pension costs, or do taxpayers otherwise just need to accept they're going to get this 5% a year bill for the next 20 years?
The challenge that we have is that our annual payment into the pension fund continues to grow at a rate that exceeds the growth of the city's budget. You know, it's growing at approximately 5%, which is almost 2 points over what the budget grows every year. This is unsustainable. This is like a household having to have their mortgage go up continuously, month after month after month. What we need to have is, the pension obligation bond was an important tool. It was a tool that will probably be on the shelf for a while and may be out of the question because of the rising interest rates, which was an important safeguard that was put into place for this process. Let's make that clear. But there's an opportunity for us to grow the city's tax base quicker by expanding economic development, by ensuring that there is more growth in the housing market, in the development market, and by ensuring that our large institutional nonprofits are paying their fair share. Currently, 40% of the city's land, the city's property, is tax exempt. Not all of that is owned by the large institutions. Some of that is owned by the federal government and the state government.
But to be clear, that means you're saying that you don't see any way to lower the money that's going to be going out the door of the city budget into the pension fund. You're just saying we have to find more money elsewhere, hopefully with economic growth, maybe from Brown or something like that.
Well, the reality is that the pension payments that we're making are paying into pension promises that were made decades ago. And we've already been through a court battle. We already realized that there's very limited things that the city can do to change what happened in the past. Looking forward, we can make sure that we don't fall into that trap again. But the reality is that these are pension benefits that were promised in the 70s and 80s and 90s. And those benefits are going to age out eventually. And what we need to be ready for is to be able to grow the city's economy so that we can sustain this growth over that period of time.
All right, Mr. Smiley, the same question to you. The pension bond, again, we're going to take it off the table for the moment because you can't do the pension bond right now. So without that, what, if anything, is your plan B to lower how much of the city budget has to go into the pension fund in the next 20 years?
Yeah, so for the last year plus, I've been talking about the opportunity to get into the state system, the MERS system. I think that there's a lot of benefits to it, and I thought that it might require the pension obligation bond as a way to buy into. Were the pension obligation bond to no longer be an option, it's still a negotiation to have with the state, and it might still be on the table. Right now, we pay our own lawyers, our own investment advisors, our own bankers to get the same advice that the state gets. It's just one more contract that the mayor gets to give out, and we don't get any additional value for it. It's a waste on the system. I think if we were in the state system, we would save those transaction costs. We would also have access to investment products that we don't currently have. You talk about the unfunded pension liability. The funded portion is only about $300 million. We pay out almost $100 million in benefits every year. We make those payments every month. And yet the city makes its contribution once in the summer. And so the city keeps a disproportionate share of its investments in cash or cash equivalents in order to meet those cash flow needs.
But I've watched those negotiations to go into the state system, and the state wants to see that the pension fund has been stabilized already. Yes. Then you can come into the state fund. Why would the other 39 cities and towns ever go along with bringing a fund that's 21 to 23% funded into the state system, instantly making it the largest liability in that system?
Because if the city of Providence were to go under, the state would bail us out. And so I would work with, which is a circumstance that I will avoid at all costs. And so the state understands that the capital city is critical to its long-term success, just like we understand that our long-term success depends on the state's long-term success. We are in this together. And so I would work closely with state leaders to help identify and make sure that everyone at the State House understands the dilemma that we're in and sees the benefits to us joining their system. Because the other thing that they would protect against is the largest reason that we're in this mess in the first place is, as Gonzalo pointed out, benefits that were given out that were very generous, but also that payments were skipped or paid short. And the compounding effect of that is $1 billion.
But we're not. The city has been skipping payments for years now.
Right. However, municipalities that are in MERS never skip a payment because the state diverts other state aid to make sure that those municipalities make their payments. And so part of the bargain for the state is by taking us into the state system, you can be assured that, because we're in the pension business for decades or centuries, that in the future mayors will never skip a payment and the capital city won't find itself in this problem ever again.
All right, we may be testing viewers' patience for pension talk, Ms. LaFortune, but it's such an important issue. Same question to you. Plan B if the pension bond can't happen, which does look potentially unlikely.
Right. So the pension system right now is 23% funded, about 23% funded. To get it out of the critical state, we need to get to about 60% funded. We see the rise of the pension expenses rise by 5% annually, but our revenue, it's only about 2%. In 2018, I actually worked on the pension report with my former council colleague, Sam Zurier, and we outlined some recommendations. Transitioning into the state pension system, that was certainly one of them. However, we can't do it automatically because we still need to make sure that we're able to pay into the current pension system so that our retirees are receiving their benefits. We also should look at some of our city assets, including buildings like some of the fire stations that the city has not been utilizing to generate some revenue. We also should be working with the nonprofit institutions who are not paying taxes on their non-mission driven properties. I actually passed legislation about 2 years ago calling for a full assessment of the pilot program, and earlier this year, the city came out with a report saying that we have to partner with them.
Let me ask you, Ms. LaFortune, like your colleagues, none of you have mentioned touching pension benefits at this point. I asked City Hall today, the highest paid retiree in Providence currently takes home almost $200,000 a year, most of it tax-free. The median household in the city makes $49,000. As mayor, are you saying there's just no way at this point to touch that, and that $200,000 check's going to keep going to him for the rest of his life?
Legally, we still have to pay. By law, we have to pay out the pension benefits to the retarees. And not all retirees are receiving that type of benefit. In fact, while knocking on doors, I met a retired firefighter. He's certainly not one of the people who are receiving that level of payment. He's working, he relies on his pension to be able to pay his bills, to be able to pay his mortgage. So that's not a narrative for all people, but we do need to look at other avenues to pay into the pension if within the next 5 years the market is not favorable to the city.
Okay.
And we've outlined some recommendations to do so.
Thank you, Ms. LaFortune. Candidates, we are approaching the halfway point of this debate, so I want to do a rapid fire section where we want to get through a handful of topics quickly. I am looking for a 1 or 2 word answer on these questions. Ms. LaFortune, are you going to vote yes or no on the proposal to start electing half of the members of the school board?
Although I didn't support the process, having a hybrid model, I would vote for a hybrid model. Yes.
You're voting yes. Mr. Cuervo?
No, I have been vocal about my support for a fully elected school board.
No. Mr. Smiley?
I'm going to vote no because I don't think injecting more politics into our school system is going to solve our education
Mr.
problems.
Smiley, we'll stick with you. Letter grade for the state takeover of the Providence Public Schools so far?
Incomplete.
Ms. LaFortune?
We need to transition it back to local control, and I would give it probably a D or a D minus, or even a C, because there has been some good things that have happened, like the turnaround.
We have an evolving curve. We have an evolving curve to that. Okay,
Mr.
Cuervo, we're at the midterm here. We get a D. And finally, Mr. Cuervo, we'll start with you on this one for rapid fire. Who was the best mayor of Providence in the last 50 years?
Every mayor has faced a different set of challenges and brought to the office their own experiences, and I think it's hard to say that there is one best
Two of your
mayor.
former bosses may be disappointed to hear you not name them.
I think every person brings their own lived experiences to the position.
Ms. LaFortune, best mayor of Providence in the last 50 years?
I do agree that all the mayors have been able to do some really amazing things
Do you
for
have
the
a
city
name?
of Providence. But I want to be the best mayor
Okay.
of Providence.
Mr.
and
Smiley,
to be the first woman
do you
mayor.
have a name for the best mayor of the last 50 years?
Yeah, I think Mayor Cicilline, to turn the page from the Cianci era of corruption and underinvestment, took on a Herculean task and changed the city's reputation for the better, and we're still enjoying the benefits of that.
All right, now we are going to do a pop quiz section of rapid fire here. One thing voters want to know is if you have a grasp of the most important issues facing the city. Ms. LaFortune, as we've already discussed, the city's underfunded pension plan is a huge problem, and the mayor serves as chair of the Providence Board of Investment Commissioners, which manages the money in the city pension fund. I'm not looking for it down to the penny, Ms. LaFortune, but approximately how much money total was in the Investment Commission's account as of July?
Oh my goodness, pop quiz. We've spent over $93 million into the pension system, and I'm so sorry, that totally slipped my mind.
That's
so
okay. Mr. Smiley, do you have an answer?
I think current assets are about $300 million.
Say it again.
300 million?
And Mr. Cuervo? You see
Approximately
right?
300.
Okay, the answer is $325 million. Mr. Cuervo, what is the current residential property tax rate in Providence?
I believe it's 22%.
Do you have it per $1,000? The tax rate, the property tax rate in Providence per 1,000.
Do you mean $22 per thousand?
$22 per 1,000.
Okay, you said 22%.
Yes,
That's fine. That's fine.
$22 per
Mr.
1,000.
Smiley, is he right? $22 per 1,000?
He's not.
What is it?
It's around $13 for the owner-occupied rate, if that's with the homestead.
The residential property rate, not counting homestead or not homestead, just the residential property rate.
Oh, he's not far off then.
Okay, Ms. LaFortune?
It's about a little over $22 per $1,000.
We have $17.80 per 1,000. Final question to you, Mr. Smiley. There's been a lot of talk about police funding in the last 2 years. Approximately, what is the budget for the Providence Police Department?
$100 million.
Is he right?
Yes.
Ms. LaFortune, is he right?
He's right.
He is right. Steph Machado.
For years, the city has relied on lucrative tax breaks to developers who build in the city, and it's to the point that it's become a standard practice to offer a tax treaty to developments large and small, from the Superman building, the Fane Tower, to even smaller neighborhood projects. Owners of existing properties argue this puts more of a tax burden on their backs. Starting with Mr. Smiley, is that tool overused, the TSAs? And if not, how do you defend giving out these tax breaks to developers when families are seeing their tax bills go up?
Yeah, so the tax stabilization tool it's important. The dilemma is it's our only tool. And so as mayor, I'm going to work to make sure that the city's economic development department, the city's economic development plan, broadens the toolbox so that there are different incentive programs or subsidy programs to actually subsidize growth. In the early days of the Raimondo administration, when the Commerce Corporation had just been created, we developed a wide array of economic development programs that were tailored to different projects. Job programs, hotel programs, real estate programs, industrial programs. The city of Providence needs a similarly diverse toolbox. The TSA is important because our commercial taxes are so uncompetitive, but it's not a perfect fit for every project. And so I hope to use it less often because I hope that there are other ways to make things happen in Providence.
Mr. Cuervo, are the tax treaties overused?
Yes, it's reached a point where when developers want to begin to consider a project in Providence, the first thing they do is hire a lobbyist to negotiate the TSA, the Tax Stabilization Agreement. I believe that, as Brett said, it has become, by default, our only development tool in economic development. We need to transition away from that. We've seen large-scale development happen in the city. Recently on Thayer Street, some apartments that were built, multi-million-dollar project that was done without a TSA. There's an opportunity for us to streamline our regulatory processes and to make development more attractive in our city so that we don't have to be leaning on the Tax Stabilization Agreement program, which has become a crutch for development. And what it ultimately does is pick winners, because we're deciding between new development that's going to have stable, lower taxes, and existing development and existing people who have invested large sums of money in the city who are paying the full rate. That is unfair.
Ms. LaFortune, same question.
We have one of the highest commercial tax rates in the nation, and we do need to have a tool to attract developers to invest in the city of Providence. However, we do overutilize it, but also we don't do a really good job managing the TSAs on the back end to ensure that those who are receiving the benefits are meeting the requirements that are outlined. That's why I supported creating a role for someone to do just that work, to better manage the TSAs, because there are a bunch of TSAs in the city of Providence, and everyone has a very different agreement. So we do need to do a better job in managing it. Listen, if we had better schools, we would not have to give out the TSAs. I do think that we would see more investors wanting to build in the city of Providence, bring their businesses here, if we had quality schools. But unfortunately, our schools are struggling. We have one of the highest commercial tax rates, and so we have to utilize it as a tool. But as mayor, I want to transform our educational system so that we're not overly utilizing our TSAs, and also on the back end have an infrastructure where we're better managing the TSAs as well.
And a quick follow-up question for each of you. The Providence Place Mall's 30-year tax treaty is set to expire in the coming years. The mall's owners will almost certainly come to the next mayor asking for a new one. Do you support, yes or no, continuing to give a tax break to the mall, or should they have to start paying their full tax bill? Staying with you, Ms. LaFortune.
I think the mall should start paying their full tax bill. They've had that TSA for quite some time. Now, if there is an opportunity to transform the mall and make it a mixed-use development, maybe we could have community college right in that building where people have access to public transportation. They can take their classes in there. And then perhaps a portion of it, because it is a mission-driven entity or educational entity, perhaps we can see how we can work around it. But that has been been one of the longest TSAs that the city has given out. And so at this point, they should be paying full taxation.
Okay, Mr. Smiley?
It depends. I want to know what the future of the mall is. I want to hear that from the mall owners. Malls are struggling around the country. The Providence Place Mall is no exception. It's struggling. I haven't yet seen a vision for how it thrives into the future. Part of the reason for that TSA was because of the people that it brought to Providence. And it's not bringing those people currently. And so in order to substantiate an extension or future tax subsidy, I want to know how is it going to be additive and contributive to Providence's economy.
Mr. Cuervo, would you extend the tax break to the mall?
That would require a significant conversation. The mall model has been dying in America for decades now, yet the Providence Place Mall continues to have greater than 90% occupancy rate. They've been very agile and evolving. The challenge that we have precisely with tax stabilization agreements is that when that agreement was made, it was designed as a cliff, so that at the end of every tax stabilization agreement period, these people will go from paying pennies on the dollar to thousands of dollars overnight. That's unsustainable. During the Taveras administration, we worked on creating stepped tax stabilization agreements. This model that the mall is under is not a sustainable model, and they are going to cry and scream because they don't want to go from paying pennies on the dollar to thousands of dollars. There's a conversation to be had about not only the viability of their ability to pay those taxes, but also what is going to become of that building. Well, that building has a multitude of future uses. It doesn't have to necessarily be entirely retail. It can be reinvented as a number of things that will generate revenue for the city, generate activity for the owners, and keep our downtown thriving.
Ted?
Well, I want to ask each of you about criticism you faced on the campaign trail. Mr. Smiley, I'll start with you. Providence has a long history of corruption in the mayor's office. Many people don't want to go back to those days. You paid a $4,500 penalty to the Rhode Island Ethics Commission earlier in your campaign because you raised money from state vendors while you were holding a high state job. Why should voters elect a mayor of Providence who has already violated the code of ethics before even taking office?
So I'm really proud of my track record with the state and what I accomplished when I was working for state government. And I went proactively to the Ethics Commission to get guidance. When I found out that I had received contributions from people with state contracts, I promptly returned it. I fully cooperated with the Ethics Commission, and as you rightly point out, I paid a penalty. Honestly, I think we need more public servants who are willing to admit when they made a mistake, take ownership of it, and be prepared to talk about it.
I would argue that Brett, who prior to being an administrator, spent 15 years plus of his life being a professional fundraiser and campaign finance compliance officer. He is an expert in the field of campaign finance to the extent that nobody else in this room is. And when he asked for guidance, he turned around and did exactly what he told the Rhode Island Ethics Commission he was not going to do. And therefore, he received an exceedingly high fine for the Ethics Commission, $4,500, so high that John Marion, executive director of Common Cause Rhode Island, said that the high dollar amount of that fine indicated that this was not simply an oversight, in John Marion's words.
John Marion, often respected on that. What's your response?
My response is the minute I found out that I had received contributions from people that I had no idea had contracts with the state, I promptly returned them. And then I fully cooperated with the Ethics Commission and took responsibility for the mistake.
But you actually awarded contracts to some of these people when there was an opportunity, when the state received millions of dollars of COVID funds to create the makeshift hospital, rather than go through a fair RFP process. You awarded contracts to the same people that donated to your campaign, and then you turn around and talk about, serving people from historically marginalized communities, yet you cut them out of an opportunity that would actually significantly change minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, their lives and their businesses around. So you did know, but you made a choice, and that was a choice that you made, and we need open, ethical, honest government. You can't be a leader and then not allow the rules to apply to you.
I'll let you respond, Mr. Smiley.
So I think being a leader is admitting when you made a mistake and making the situation right. I'm very proud of the work that we did to respond to the COVID crisis in the early days. We had one of the best responses nationwide in the Raimondo administration to those scary early days. We stood up temporary field hospitals that met the need in a crisis situation and saved lives as doing so, and I was proud to have played a role in that process.
But Mr. Smiley, if I made the same mistake, I would have been destroyed. and we all know that. So the
well,
rules
Ms.
should apply to
LaFortune,
everyone.
let me turn to you. You've served on the Providence City Council for 5 years now, yet only one of your 14 colleagues has endorsed you. A majority have endorsed your 2 rivals. If the people who've already worked with you at City Hall don't think you should be mayor, why should the voters?
Listen, I'm not beholden to anyone, and I do have some city council people that I've worked closely with that has endorsed me. I'm not making any
Helen
backdoor
Anthony
deals.
has. How many have?
Sam Zurier has endorsed me.
He's not on the council anymore.
Oh, he's not, but he's a former council person and he's a senator. Helen Anthony has publicly endorsed me. I've had some state representatives who I've worked with, particularly on my side of town, who have endorsed me. Look, we've never had a woman mayor. We've never had a black person mayor. We've never had a woman of Afro-Latina mayor. The reality is, there are people who are going around saying I'm not a viable candidate, and people do need to get reelected, but I have proven that I can compete with the guys. So you know what? I'm gonna continue on this journey and towards winning on September 13th. But I have worked hard as a city council person. I've worked ethically, and while being a parent, while working full time. So I cannot, say why they did not support me, but what I can say is that, listen, this is something new. It's hard for people to accept something that they haven't seen before. But what I do hope to do as mayor of Providence is to work with all elected officials, city officials as well as state officials.
Mr. Cuervo, you're running for mayor of Providence, but records show you owned a house in Cranston from 2013 to 2020. Why did you move out of Providence, and when exactly did you move back?
So I moved out of Providence in 2013 because my family wanted to live in a different environment, and we were looking at homes all over Providence, and most of the homes that were within our range of affordability required extensive renovations. And we found a home in Cranston, 10 minutes away, that fit our budget and fit my family's needs, my 2 children and my wife. We moved to that, and in 2019 I moved back to Providence and put the house up for sale. At the time, it took a while to sell the house, and this house actually sold in 2020, but I moved back to Providence in 2019, in May of 2019.
What do you say to people who say, well, he moved back because he knew the mayor's seat would be open and he wanted to be there for a couple of years before the race?
I moved back because it made sense, because my daughter went off to college and my son wasn't living with us anymore, and we had the opportunity to move into a beautiful loft apartment at Rising Sun Mills on Valley Street, and that's the explanation.
But many parents do not have the mobility to move from one city to the next. I certainly do not. The house that I live in, if I were to buy it today, it would not be accessible to me. However, I have chosen to raise my children just like many Providence residents in the city of Providence, and also investing in the city of Providence. And moving back in 2019 just to run for office, I think says a lot about you as a person who did not work with the families or choose to raise your family here just like everyone else. And you know what? We all have choices, and you get to choose where you live. You have the privilege of mobility, but many families in Providence do not have that.
I'll give you 30 seconds and I have to give it to Tim.
That's true. There are many families that are struggling. I have a proven track record, 29 years long, of fighting for those families, of working with them, of creating opportunities for them, of building economic opportunity for families, for small businesses across the city, particularly on the south side and the west side of the city. I've been a homeowner in Providence and a taxpayer for 20 years. When my wife and I got married, we restored a home in Washington Park. It's where we raised our children. We lived there for 16 years. I'm very proud of that. We still own that home. We have extended family that lives in that home. And the reality is that we're not talking about me moving across the country. We're not even talking about me moving.
I don't know,
to
it's Rhode Island, Gonzalo. So.
I lived 11 minutes away from where I live now.
All right, I want to talk about policing candidates, and Ms. LaFortune, I'll start with you. In 2020, you supported diverting funds from the police department to other programs. Now, in the end, the police budget actually went up. But I think people are going to be wondering, if you become mayor, should voters expect you to cut the police budget? I'm looking for some brevity here, about a minute.
All right. So I was advocating for us to have a crisis response, a behavioral health divergent program in the city of Providence. I led the effort to create the first behavioral health crisis response initiative in the city of Providence without cutting the police budget. Listen, I committed to the people of Providence. That's what they wanted, and I made sure that happened. And we didn't have to cut the funds. But we do need a public safety infrastructure that involves community policing, officers walking the beats. We're not criminalizing people for mental and behavioral health, but we're also investing in the neighborhoods. That's what I have been advocating for, and I took action to make sure that happened.
Mr. Cuervo, you have won the support of the most progressive elected officials in Providence that either currently or have supported defunding the police. Should voters expect that you have also committed to that philosophy in policing to secure their endorsements?
No, I have been very clear about my position on public safety. Everywhere that I've gone for the past year and a half, talking to residents, regardless of the neighborhood, regardless of the language, people want effective, accountable policing. And what we need to do is we need to be supportive of those men and women in uniform who are doing a great job, and we need to hold accountable those who go astray. The reality is that we spend a lot of money on policing. We spend $100 million a year this year on policing. And what I want to make sure is that we're using those resources in the best way possible. Currently, less than a third of our police force is in the uniform division. That means that even though we have 430 police officers, there's actually a reduced number of officers every shift that are actually patrolling our streets. We need to implement community policing models. We need to make sure that we have the allocation of resources and personnel that works best for the city's size of Providence. I have some experience in this. During the Cicilline administration, I was a young communications director for the mayor, and I worked very closely with Dean Esserman. He rolled out a very ambitious, very successful community policing program that relied heavily on federal grants. When those grants dried up and they couldn't pay overtime anymore, and those young officers that were walking beats wanted to get promotions and wanted to move up, the community policing program withered. We need to avoid the mistakes of the past.
All right, Mr. Smiley, I want to ask it differently to you. You've been a vocal supporter of the police department throughout the campaign. What do you say to the voter at home who's concerned there's been a lack of accountability with policing in Providence, and you will turn a deaf ear to their calls for reform? I'll give you a little extra time. We owe you some time here.
Great, thank you. Public safety in Providence is a top priority for me. Violent crime in the city is concerning. Any amount of violent crime is unacceptable. We also have an issue with quality of life crimes, things like the motorcycles and the ATVs, which are also a priority. I am committed to restoring a sense of safety to the community with real community policing. And what I would say to voters who have concerns, because I'm sympathetic, I have heard from many young people in the city who tell me they don't feel safer when they see a police officer. And I acknowledge that. I strongly believe, and I believe this because we've done it once before, that through real community policing, through better policing, we can actually restore and repair the relationship with the community. What that means is that's by increasing staffing, we can actually permanently assign officers, or for an extended period of time, to a geographic district, so neighbors can get to know their neighborhood police officer. So officers can be walking the beat, riding their bicycles, re-engaging with the community in a meaningful way, so that we can start to repair those relationships. I think it will help with incidents of crime, but it will also help with police-community relationships. And it's because we've done this once before. I've also spoken about taking the help that we need. We know that not every 911 call needs to result in an officer being deployed. And by deploying mental health workers, addiction counselors, social workers for people in crisis, if that's what they need, it frees up police officers to stay focused on violent crimes, gun crimes, and these quality of life crimes.
Well, final question then to you, Mr. Smiley, about this. None of you have committed to who you would want to keep in leadership positions at City Hall or at the police department in public safety, so I'm not going to ask you that, but you just outlined how you want to go back to the way things were. Mr. Cuervo said something similar. Do you think that the current police leadership has failed in that endeavor in the last few years then?
I think that the failure for us to do real community policing is directly attributed to the manpower and woman power of the Providence Police Department, where back in the Cicilline years we had 500 officers on the force. Last summer we were down to 400 officers, 20% fewer officers, and the first thing that gets cut are the walking beats, the bicycles, and the rest. And so I think that staffing is directly related to the shortcomings that we've experienced with respect to community policing.
All right, Steph?
Mayor Lorza recently announced a plan to use American Rescue Plan dollars to extend what's called the Guaranteed Income Program. This is the city sends $500 every month to 110 low-income residents in Providence, no strings attached. This pilot was originally funded for the first year with philanthropic dollars. This 6-month extension will be the first time taxpayer dollars will be used. I'm looking for quick answers here. Mr. Cuervo, would you continue this program using taxpayer dollars, or would you end it?
The mayor's extension, which was announced recently, it will be funded by ARPA funds, federal recovery funds.
Those are taxpayer dollars.
They don't, but they do not impact Providence taxpayers directly. The challenge that we have with these programs is we already know that when you give people who are experiencing hardship additional income sources, they do things with this. They pay their bills, they fix their car, they save up to get a better apartment. We know that these programs work. The challenge is, and this isn't a challenge that Providence has to grapple with, this is a challenge that cities across the United States and the globe are grappling with, is how do you pay for this going forward? The city currently is not in a position to pick up the tab on this program or a similar program currently. But we have to continue to look at the results, look at the outcomes, find best practices across the United States. There are many opportunities. We have an opportunity.
So you would end it, though? Are you saying you would end it?
Unless we can find a revenue source that is not coming directly from Providence taxpayers, we would have to really evaluate this.
Okay, Mr. Smiley.
Yeah, I think that you're right. These are taxpayer dollars. They're also one-time dollars. And so, you know, the mayor in his press conference asked that we all, I think that the three of us, follow the data, and I intend to keep an open mind when that data comes back. The dilemma is that this is benefiting 100 families in Providence, 100 families who have really very real and basic needs. And the question that I have to ask, and would ask as the next mayor, is would that money be better spent repairing our rec centers, where thousands of young people will enjoy those rec centers and keep them off the streets and keep them engaged in productive activity that could last a decade or two. It's one-time federal money. And so I have not shut the door to it entirely, but I'm deeply skeptical that the city's in a position to be able to continue to fund a program that's benefiting 100 families.
Ms. LaFortune, would you continue the program or would you end it?
I would look at the data and I would work really hard to continue the program. The average people can't buy a gallon of milk. It's so expensive now. Or just going to the grocery stores or filling your gas tank up or buying a bus pass to get around. A lot of these families that are benefiting from this program, it's helping them put food on the table to pay a utility bill. So I would look at the data to see where we can generate some revenue, work with some of our philanthropic organizations to see how we can get some additional funding, grant dollars to support the program. But there are benefits. There are models throughout the nation that have shown that these programs have been effective. And the reality is that this pandemic has exacerbated some of the inequities that currently exist within our city. Even the crime, we've seen an uptick in crime in the city of Providence, where in the past there actually was more crime than it is now. But the pandemic has played a role in this. And so if this is an opportunity to help people pay their bills, in addition to creating pathways in City Hall, I want to create an apprenticeship program, connect people to job opportunities, work with our mentorship organizations, which is part of my platform.
I'm going to cut you off because we're running short. We're going to go.
But I would work hard to keep the program, but would do a full assessment of the budget to ensure that we're able to do it. But to tell someone 6 months from now, guess what? Those benefits end.
Okay, thank you, Ms. LaFortune. We have about a minute and a half before we get to closing statements. A couple of quick questions to all of you. Please keep it quick. Mr. Cuervo, do you support or oppose school resource officers?
I oppose school resource officers.
Ms. LaFortune?
I oppose increased social emotional support in our
Mr.
schools.
Smiley?
I support with some modifications to the program.
Do you support or oppose license plate camera readers?
I support with adequate protections for civil liberties.
Ms. LaFortune?
I support in using technology to address safety, but if we're collecting people's data, we need to have an open and transparent process.
Mr. Cuervo?
With proper vetting and safeguards. Public vetting and safeguards, yes.
All right. Why don't we end with a fun question, candidates? If someone wanted advice on where in Providence they should propose to their partner, where would you tell them to do it, Mr. Cuervo?
The pedestrian bridge along South Water Street.
That was predicted prior to the debate, I will tell you that. Ms. LaFortune,
Yeah.
where would you suggest someone propose to their partner in Providence?
At Roger Williams Park, the Rose Garden, that's at Roger Williams Park.
All right, Mr. Smiley, what do you think?
Prospect Park, looking over downtown. My nephew proposed to his niece pre-pandemic. It got delayed a couple times. I actually got to officiate their wedding a couple months ago.
All right, excellent. Now, as I promised at the beginning of the debate, each candidate has an opportunity to make a 1-minute closing statement, the order of which was drawn randomly prior to this debate, and the first name out of the hat. Mr. Cuervo, your 1-minute closing remark.
Thank you. My name is Gonzalo Cuervo, and I'm running for mayor of Providence. I was born in Providence. I've spent a lifetime working for families in Providence, fighting for equity, fighting for opportunity, fighting for economic advancement. Providence is a remarkable city that has so much to offer, but there are two experiences of Providence. There's one Providence for upwardly mobile folks that get to enjoy everything that's fantastic about our city, our arts and culture, our culinary scene, really the unbelievable talent that comes through our educational institutions. And there's another Providence for people that are being priced out of their homes, that are being squeezed by the economy, and that are simply trying to make ends meet through the gig or the informal economy. That divide is unsustainable, and that divide impacts the city's ability to deliver city services, its ability to fix our schools, to provide public safety, and to ensure housing affordability. We need to close that divide, and that is what I plan on doing. You can find out more at gonzaloforprovidence.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cuervo. Now, Ms. LaFortune, your 1-minute closing remarks.
My name is Nirva LaFortune. I'm running to be the next mayor of Providence. We need a mayor who has both the professional experience as well as the lived experience to move our city forward. A mayor who's going to prioritize the key things that impact families, providing our kids in every single neighborhood a quality education, ensuring that our city is safe. I'm the only candidate that was endorsed by the Rhode Island Coalition Against Gun Violence. A mayor who's going to make sure that the city is affordable for all across the income spectrum, and government that is open, honest, and ethical, that works for all people in every single neighborhood and those who are doing business here. So please visit votenirva.com to read more about my platform. I am a proud product of our public schools. My children are public school kids, and we need someone who truly understands the city of Providence, and I am confident that I will be that mayor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. LaFortune, thank you. And Mr. Smiley, your 1-minute closing remarks.
Great, thank you very much. I'm Brett Smiley, and I'm so excited to run for mayor because Providence has all of the ingredients to be a world-class city. It also has the potential to be the best-run city in the country by focusing on what matters. Core quality of life issues, neighborhood quality of life issues, everything from better snow removal to finally fixing streets and sidewalks. But being the best-run city in the country also means finally making progress on our education system, progress that families can feel, and having a real and sustained economic development plan that includes a plan for affordable housing. And finally, it includes restoring a sense of safety to the city. I'm proud to have served as Governor Raimondo's chief of staff, the city's first chief operating officer. I've seen what works, what doesn't work, and what needs to be fixed. I'm confident that I've got the experience to manage large workforces, large budgets, having negotiated labor contracts once at the city and state level. I don't need on-the-job training. I'm ready to build a team to get to work on day one. I'm asking for your vote. You can learn more at smileyformayor.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smiley, and thank you to all of the candidates for agreeing to take part in this debate. And thank you for watching at home. Happening in just minutes on WPRI.com, our post-debate digital show where each of the campaigns will enter our spin room, then complete debate coverage on WPRI.com. And tonight on 12 News at 10 and 11 o'clock. And next week, once again, in these studios, another live debate among the Democratic candidates looking to replace Congressman Jim Langevin. You can catch Joy Fox, Seth Magaziner, Sarah Morgenthau, and David Siegel. Again, that debate is right here in our 12 News studios. It's at 8 o'clock, August 30th. That is next Tuesday, and you can catch that debate on Channel 12. I want to remind everyone that in-person voting, early in-person voting, actually starts tomorrow, so keep that in mind. I want to thank you for watching. I thank both my colleagues, Steph Machado and Ted Nisi. If you missed any of the debate, you can watch it again on WPRI.com. We'll see you later tonight on 12 News at 10 and 11. Have a great night.